You're taking all the love, the marry, the motion out of the actual prenup itself, and you're being very rational and logical of like, this is a business transaction. I would probably regret asking you for a prenup because you'd probably negotiate it. And that's a beige flag for me, for you, is you probably negotiate your way into a better deal than like I got. Everything the next 2 weeks is going to be in red flags, beige flags, or green flags, just so you know. You want me to cook dinner? Sure, I'll be the green flag tonight. You need to go get your nails done? Done. Green flag.
Welcome back to Hey There Adulting. I'm Jeena.
Hey, I'm Drew.
Hey There Adulting is where people who can't adult find a diverse, inclusive community to figure life out with. I'm exhausted today. I've been up since like 5 or 6 this morning.
You were up early. I'm yawning already. I know I woke up and looked over and you were like in bed on your phone.
Yeah, I had a bunch of emails to go through.
To sleep.
At an early appointment because I got my brows done.
Mm-hmm.
I get them darkened. I can't get them wet for like 24 hours. So I know they look a little weird right now. I know a lot of people are going to see these clips and be like, what is on her eyebrows? I just got them done. I got them done. But because I get them done like this, I don't have to use like an eyebrow pencil for the next 18 months. They're perfectly like this. They stay this dark the whole 18 months.
Permanent. Yeah. You've talked about doing tattoo eyebrows before, haven't you?
This is kind of like this.
It's like, it's not microblading though.
No.
But no, tattoo, like you shave your eyebrow and they just tattoo on the eyebrow, right?
Are you asking me or you know?
I don't know. It's kind of both. It's asking, kind of inquisitive telling.
Yeah, but I just try to explain to you what I did and you try to make it seem like you already knew. And you start.
No, I thought you had in the past talked about tattooing your eyebrows on. That's all.
Yeah, but you're saying there's no shaving, obviously, because you can still see my little hairs.
I didn't say you tattooed your eyebrows.
Yeah, but I asked if you were asking me or were you telling me. You said both. You made it seem
the process of this is where I think we both got lost in the conversation somewhere.
There's no loss. I asked you specifically.
And I answered specifically what you were asking.
Which was...
But now you're backtracking, saying
what?
I was answering something else.
No, to the tattooing.
You asked me if I knew the process of tattooing an eyebrow.
And I said... And you said, don't you shave it? And I said, are you asking? Like, because you said, yeah, people usually shave it and then tattoo it. And I was like, are you asking or are you telling me?
Yeah, I said both. Like, I'm kind of asking / telling, like, what I think happens. And then at the end of that, you say, well, I didn't shave my eyebrows. You can obviously see I didn't shave them. I wasn't talking about, like, you got your eyebrows tattooed.
But I did say...
talking about two separate things.
I was also trying to tell you that I did... It's like a very similar process. And no, I don't think to get your eyebrows tattooed that you have to shave them.
Okay. That's all I was asking.
But the issue was before I tried to explain to you what I did to my eyebrows, because you're like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. You weren't listening to me. You were thinking about something else.
See, I feel like our viewers have a skewed perspective of this conversation because this conversation actually started off camera, you guys.
It doesn't even matter because you were not listening to me.
My nurse brain hears lidocaine, and I'm like, lidocaine to get your brows done? And then you're like, yeah, I'm not even going to tell you how they're done. Like,
because you were not listening. You're like, oh, you get your eyebrows done every single time you get them done. You get lidocaine. I was like, there's multiple things that I do to my brows. I get them threaded, and you've seen me get my eyebrows threaded before, correct? Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen me get lidocaine on them?
Have I seen you get your eyebrows threaded?
Yes, you have. Because we used to go to the mall. You used to go to the mall with me.
I wouldn't sit there and watch you. I'd walk around, or I'd have the kids or something.
Why don't you get your eyebrows threaded with me, and then we could see?
Because then my eyebrows look too girly. I like my manly eyebrows.
Your bushy eyebrows? Ain't nobody said they look manly. They look bushy.
Why do you think caveman looks so masculine? Because they have big old bushy eyebrows.
Okay. Anywho, Drew has seen me do this process. He hasn't cared about it until I tell him, hey, yeah, I have to use lidocaine. And I can't get them wet because they're kind of like laminating. You don't even know about laminating.
Yeah, we laminated some of the kids' school stuff yesterday.
We?
Yeah.
Where's the we? Because I thought you were in bed when I laminated.
Where did you get that laminator from?
I bought it from the store.
Where did it end up after that?
In the house.
Wrong. It was in the garage. I had to
That's
go
part
get
of
it
the
for you.
house.
I had to go get it
Drew,
for you.
you did not laminate. I was up by myself laminating.
I can't wait till next time you need something. I'm going to be like, no, you do it all by yourself.
Were
like,
you up with me? Did you stay up and laminate all the kids' schoolwork? So you laminated. You put them through the laminator.
That's not what I said.
Did you?
See, I love this because I feel like this will go straight on to what our episode is today.
Red flags.
Red flags. And you, ma'am, are being a red flag.
Oh, I'm a red flag. You're a red flag. It's like we got pregnant. No, I'm pregnant. You're the one who just got me pregnant.
Exactly. We got pregnant.
No, it's me. I'm pregnant. You're not pregnant. If you were pregnant, then we would be a lesbian couple, and then I could choose when I got pregnant.
See, this is what I don't like about this conversation is my little guys fought so hard to get there. They fought so hard.
Do you know he is 6 for 6? Every single time we said, let's go get pregnant, all of a sudden, that very night, I'm pregnant.
So who's putting in most of the work?
That's laziness in mine. Because it means laziness because it's so easy for them to get me pregnant. So easy for them to get me pregnant. Easy. We talk about pregnancy, boom, I'm pregnant.
I'm going to hold back a comment that's coming to my mind about being easy. But, all right. My guys. my little swimmers worked really hard.
They did not.
To help us be pregnant.
No, there's no us in pregnancy. There is no us in. You got me pregnant, I'm pregnant.
I feel like that's a red flag.
Good, go ahead. I can't wait for people to come after you. We're not pregnant, Drew. Jeena is pregnant. Are you pregnant?
Do you not remember what happened after the first time you got pregnant? I gained weight. We were pregnant.
You gained weight after I was pregnant?
Yeah. When you were pregnant with Panda, I gained like 5 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Y'all, let's give Drew some sympathy claps.
Can I get a pat on the back too?
5 whole pounds. But then Jeena gained 85 pounds.
Mm-hmm. It could have been 90, but I took that other 5 pounds. You're not going to win this conversation.
I've already won. You making yourself look like a red flag. Saying we're pregnant when obviously it's Jeena pregnant.
You're going to get me.
I gained a whole 5 pounds due to Gina's pregnancy.
I want to get stitched on TikTok by the guy that does red flags. Have you seen him? Like he watches people's conversation and then he'll like wait for someone to say something that's a red flag and he'll like be running through the grass with the big red flag. You
can go ahead and hold 2 red flags. Drew would be so happy. He loves you so much.
What? Can you be a green and a red flag at the same time? Is that what a brown flag is? Because now I've seen red flag, green flag, and beige flag.
Beige flag? No. Oh, what? How'd you get brown from beige?
Because they're really close.
To who?
To me.
Yeah, to only you. Beige and brown are 2 completely different colors.
I see, that's what I'm saying. I didn't say they were the same color. I just said that they were close.
Okay. They're not close. You wouldn't say...
Can we put a picture here of brown?
Why put a
beige?
picture? Beige, brown. Legit.
It's close. Look at this.
The Crayola box, you know, the beige crayon that Drew, he could, I guess, would use that for me because they're close enough.
They all look the same to me. You remember in 2000?
That's some fighting words. You said that for reals? They all look the same to me?
Yeah, all the beige colors look the same.
That's not what you said. That ain't what you said, baby.
Yeah, it is.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
Let's rewind it.
Yeah, I said they all look the same when we were talking about beige colors.
No, that's not what you said. That's not what you said. Let's rewind it.
They all look the same to me. Oh. So, you really haven't heard of beige flags?
No. What is a beige flag?
Oh my goodness. Natalia, can you look us up a beige flag? Because I haven't seen it until probably about the past year. I've seen references to beige flags. I've seen red flags. And I saw green flags.
Yeah.
And recently I think it's a trait that... I think a beige flag is a trait that isn't good or isn't bad. It's just unique to that person.
A beige flag is a behavior that your boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, or anyone else exhibits that's, well, kind of strange without quite crossing into full-on freaky territory. it's like a middle flag.
Yeah. So like if I don't know.
Yeah, but red and green don't make beige.
Yeah, I know.
Or brown.
Okay.
Okay.
It's just a talking point for me.
Yeah, but you can't say that because you're like you often whenever I say hey like this color you're so bad at colors because I think are you colorblind?
Nope.
You say that like
I feel like my eyesight is so good that I see more colors than most people, to be honest. That's why I'm so good at puzzles. Because I can identify the color differences easier than other people.
I thought you were just good at puzzles because you're persistent.
Yeah, I mean, that helps me
Finish?
complete the puzzle. But I think that's the difference between completing a puzzle in 1 week and 1 year. Is like how fast you're able to do the puzzle.
No, I think it's just how persistent you are.
Yeah.
No, Drew, you are very persistent.
It's because I can see the color differences. Because I have ultra eyes.
Well, what would
That
you...
could be my beige flag.
What is?
I see too well. I feel like that's a beige flag because you always complain about how good my eyes are.
No, I don't complain about how good your eyes are. Me and the kids make fun of you because you're the only one who doesn't wear glasses in our family.
Yeah, that's a beige flag.
That's not
I'm the only
unique
one
to
without
only
glasses.
you.
It isn't my family.
You and Panda and
My mom wears glasses. My dad wears glasses. Both my brother wears glasses.
Okay, Panda does not wear glasses. Penguin does not wear glasses. And so far, technically, Cow does not really wear glasses. It's just me and the twins.
Okay. I still think that's my beige flag. Now, so we found my beige flag. My eyesight is too good. What is your beige flag?
That is not true. I don't know. I'm sure I have a
Hair
bunch
care.
Is my beige flag my obsession with it?
What do you think? Yeah.
I don't know if I'm obsessed with it, but I definitely feel like it is something that I truly care about and I learn a lot about. So it could be my beige flag. I'm okay with that.
I'm going to find you some beige flags.
I'm not going to lie. I'm sure people will be like, there's a lot of beige flags for me. I think I may have...
But I think the beige flag has to come from your partner, significant other.
Oh.
Particularly.
Then your beige flag would be like how at night, no matter what, you got to like move your feet and stuff like that.
But that annoys you.
That is, yeah, very unique to you.
I know, but I don't think beige flags are annoying. They're like cutesy. Like cutesy to you, but maybe not to someone else.
Oh, your goofy dad jokes. The lame ones, the lamer ones are probably my favorite.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah.
Look, I taught you something today. I taught you some pop culture. You teach me about Kendrick Lamar, I'll teach you about beige flags.
Who? Lamar?
Isn't it Kendrick?
That's not what you said before.
Yeah, it is.
What would be some red flags in a relationship? Because we just established our beige flags.
Yeah, I love red flags in relationships. Let's see. I feel like all you have to do to find red flags in a relationship is watch the Hallmark Channel or like Bridgerton or any of your other shows you love to watch.
The Hallmark Channel, you feel like there's red flags in them?
What's the guy from Love is Blind? That last season we watched.
Which one?
I don't know if it's the newest season. Oh man, what's his name, Jeena?
Here, let's look up the
cast. Jimmy.
Okay, I definitely felt like Jimmy had a lot of red flags.
Yeah.
And not like in the, I don't know, it's so hard because I do know that with editing, they made his fiance, who Jimmy was actually engaged to, what was her name? We call her Megan Fox. We call her Megan Fox. But her name ain't Megan Fox. What's her name? What's her name?
I don't remember anybody's name. They did do, I think they did.
Megan Fox wrong. Because in reality, some of the things that Megan Fox was, what's her name? Chelsea.
Oh, Jimmy and Chelsea, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Chelsea was asking like...
She had red flags,
She had red flags, but they were making her look bad. Like, one of the things she asked from Jimmy was, hey, I don't want you hanging out with this woman anymore. Mm-hmm. And he's like, why? Like, no, I'm going to keep hanging out with her. And off camera, they talked about how he had some type of relationship with her in the past. I think she was fully in her right. They were engaged. She should feel uncomfortable because they had a past relationship. So when she asked Jimmy, please don't be with him or be with her, hang out with her, especially without me there, that the right thing would have been to do, like, hey, I see, like, I know I'm not going to do anything. I totally know that we are not like that anymore, which was a lie because there's something's went down afterwards. But the right thing would have been like, but because I love you and respect you and we're engaged, I'm not going to hang out with her anymore. No.
What season was that? Love is Blind 5?
5 or 6 or something like that. 6, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Chelsea had red flags. Her red flags were how insecure she was. It really was, like,
Yeah.
Because I didn't think that, like, she was really a beautiful woman, right? I think she had a lot of insecurities, but she had a lot of past trauma, and I don't think Jimmy was the right person. I think he fed into her insecurities a lot. Because the fact that he was just, like, hanging out with a lot of these women that he had past relationships with, that was a huge red flag.
He also was lacking, at least from what I saw. Again, a lot of this is heavily edited, so and they're in
But
this
still,
experiment, and really quick, his emotional intelligence was really low, from what I remember, and so I don't think he had the emotional intelligence to handle Chelsea.
Yeah, I agree.
Handle's maybe the wrong word, but be compatible.
Handle compatible. I think they're both kind of like, I get what you're trying to say. Who else was a red flag on Love is Blind?
Oh man, I remember from it was either season 1 or season 2. Do you remember the couple? Was it Diamond? And oh man,
see, y'all don't even understand. Drew loves Love is Blind.
What was the names? Diamond and something else.
What's the guy's name? The one. Okay, he was a red flag. I can't remember his name. Carlton. Yes. Okay. Yes. You want to know why I felt like he was a red flag? It wasn't because of his sexuality, right, or anything like that. It was because they had went through the whole pod, and then he expected her to be completely okay with the big news that he dropped. That whether or not, because I think she would have been accepting of it if he had told her beforehand, or if he had allowed her to process that information he had just given. He was expecting her to automatically be okay with it, but because of how quick things happen in the pods, in Love is Blind, that she's like, that's big information that you told me all this other stuff. Why wasn't that included? I get why he's like, I wanted you to be able to accept that part of me so quickly, but that's not how it goes. Not even even in a marriage like ours.
They didn't give each other space, and they just spiraled so fast.
And he was so mean. He was so mean. I felt like Diamond.
He was mean, and then she gave it right back, and it's like, boom, we're done.
I'm glad she gave it right back. She deserved, he deserved that. She should have done exactly that. Because I think if you're ever going to give someone big information like that, they need time to process it. And I get it that we should live in a world that everyone should be okay with someone being like bisexual, because he was bisexual. That was the issue, or not. It's not an issue. That was the information that he relayed to her and that she needed to process. But no matter what, based on people's preferences and their life experience, some people will need time with it to process it, and some people are not okay with that. And I don't think we should try to force them to be okay with that, because I don't think that if they're not okay with it, we shouldn't try to force them. That person's not right for you. Yeah.
Which brings me to what I was just thinking about with red flags is, one, I know there's major red flags like abuse, addictions, cheating, like hiding stuff, finances, that kind of stuff. But I think there's minor red flags that would be red flags for some people, but not other. So like, I think everyone has their own things that would be red flags, which is I think why it makes it such a dynamic conversation on like, what are your red flags, or what are red flags in general? So I know we have I feel like you could create a whole university course on this. I feel like you have universal red flags.
So no matter what.
Abuse, addictions, financial, cheating, emotional cheating, all that stuff. But then I think you have nuanced red flags, whereas a red flag for me might be that oh, you don't want kids. But for somebody else, it could be if a
red flag is something that I don't see someone not wanting kids as a red flag. I see that as someone's preference, and you prefer to marry someone or be with someone who does want children or who does like children.
So if it's a personal preference,
That's
you
different
wouldn't.
from a red flag.
So like if like Chelsea with her insecurities, why is that a red flag? Because I feel like that's just a personality trait she has.
It wasn't her being insecure, it was how she acted on that insecurity and how she allowed it to manifest in their relationship. That was the red flag. Like her constantly checking up on him, always needing reassurance. It wasn't her being insecure that was a red flag. It was how like her actions because of her insecurity, those were the red flags. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so the red flags are more the actions, not so much the personality traits of someone.
I mean, yeah, cheating is a red flag, so that's an action.
Unless you're in an open relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't see someone being, like, the idea of just someone being insecure, I don't see that as a red flag. I just see that as something.
So, because I feel like you're kind of debunking what I'm saying. Because I said like, oh, there's universal red
then
flags.
I'm debunking.
And there's not.
There is universal red flags, though.
Are there any like what you would consider red flags like for yourself, but wouldn't be for somebody else? Like a red flag is just a red flag no matter who you are or what relationship you're in or anything like.
I do agree with you. I think there are certain red flags that you may see as a huge red flag and other people are like, no. But I don't think insecurity is like it itself being a red flag. But how they act on it, how it manifests in their relationship. Because there are some people who are insecure and then the way that they manage the insecurity is like talking to their spouse a lot. I don't see talking to your spouse a lot as a red flag. But if you're talking to your spouse a lot and like saying like, hey, I don't want you hanging out with this person. Hey, I want you to call me all the time. Like every time you go somewhere, while you're at the party, after you leave the party, that is a red flag. Does that make sense? And so, but if it's just like, hey, I would love, if I'm really insecure, sometimes I feel like if you could spend like a couple times a week, like once a week where we check in and you tell me how you feel about me so that I know where we're at in our relationship, that's not bad. But it's like the negative things you do because of X, Y, and Z personality trait, then that I would count as the red flag.
Okay.
But I do think that you're right in the sense of there are universal red flags. I don't think anybody thinks cheating is okay. That is a red flag. I don't think anyone who would see like being like disrespectful, but to the point where it's like almost being being a bully or being mean, that's like a red flag. I don't see that being like me trying to, you and I are trying to like, oh, I don't know. So I do agree with it. I think there are universal red flags, but I think we're kind of like, you're trying to pin it down to even more than that. I think that's where I don't agree with you. Yeah,
I definitely was trying to weed down a little bit more into like, if somebody's ambitious. So like we had a friend that was wanting to get married and stuff like that. And we didn't feel like who they were getting married to was ambitious enough. Right? Like we talked about it almost like a red flag. Right? Like it almost disqualifies that person.
Because for this person, no one talked about it as a red flag in the sense that they thought that he was a horrible person. She shouldn't get married to him. It was more of like maybe the flag is not the right word, because I don't even think I would call it as a beige flag. It was just a lot of people thought that this person was not compatible with this other person that we all knew, but it wasn't because we thought that he was a bad person. A lot of the people in the group thought that he was a sweet person. They all loved this person, but they just didn't like the fact that they were not ambitious enough. But we also know other people in our lives that like we would say, hey, they're not really that ambitious, but they're a great person. They do work, they provide for their family. Being ambitious, that is a trait of some people and not of all, and I don't see it as bad or good. Or green or red.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
Do you think it's important to like recognize red flags early on in the relationship? Like, I feel like that's an obvious given.
I think it's hard in the beginning because like I know you have honeymoon phase when you first get married, your spouse can't do anything wrong. I know there's a phase when you first start dating where you have the butterflies and everything's going great. I think to do justice for yourself, you should recognize those so that you get the best that you can and you're not settling and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's hard to recognize those red flags because not to say that everyone has this issue with it, and I don't think I have this issue, but I have seen friends be with certain people that it's so hard for them to recognize the red flag and then also think if this is a red flag that's big enough for me to leave this person. And I think that's the problem because it's not always easy to see it early on. It does take some time. Then when you do finally see it, you already spent so much time with this person that if they have enough green flags, you're like, well, does it weigh? And so, like, yeah, you can try to see it early on, but, like, it's hard for you to see it early on because we're all putting up, like, our best foot forward in the relationship. In the beginning of a relationship, that it's almost impossible to see the red flags.
I mean, that would, I think, just be my advice with that, with, like, either someone that's dating or thinking about getting married or newly engaged, is, like, any red flags you're seeing, they're only going to get worse after you guys have been together for a while.
Oh, it'll
so
get
whether
worse.
You're married or partners or whatever, like that, unless it's communicated and solved or worked on, like in that, not even very beginning phase, but like that first year or two, like it only gets worse after that. Like it's not going to be like, hey, we get married and he's really bad at finances, like terrible. That'll get better when we get married because I'll just take over all the finances.
I feel bad for calling out Justice, but I think Justice would be okay with it. He's not great with finances.
Yeah.
He's not great with it. And it did not get better when he was with his fiance, right? But one of the things that I feel like Justice has done great, and I think is a green flag, is that he recognized that he's not great with finances. So he has his fiance handle all the finances, and then it's totally Justice's like choice, but Justice has agreed to a budget so that way they can save towards big goals that they have in their life. So it's not like Justice is like, oh, my fiance put me on a budget and I can't get any more money. No, Justice fully recognizes like these big goals that they want for their lives and these things that they want. And he's like, put me on a budget so we can get there together because I want us to be able to have the big wedding. I want us to be able to save up for IVF so we can have our children. I want us to be able to travel, do X, Y, and Z. So he has his fiance handle all the budgeting. And I think it was great that Justice recognized that he was horrible at finances. Don't worry, Justice. I'm not good with numbers. I just make the money. I get that. And I love that he was able to recognize that. And was like, no, babe, you do it. You handle it. So,
congratulations, Justice, for turning your red flag into a green flag.
That's not a red flag.
Oh.
Being bad at finances is not a red flag.
I mean...
no. Some people would see. Some people would see it.
I see it as a red flag. If you're not willing to have someone help you with finances, if you know you're bad with finances, to me, that's a red flag.
But what if they don't know if they're bad at finances?
I'll tell them. I will be there for them and say, you're bad at finances. And then I will take their red flag away and give them a green flag and say, there you go.
Because I think of myself, I'm not that great with numbers. It takes me a little bit more effort. I don't see this might be because I might have a hard time just seeing, but I don't see being bad at finances as the red flag. But maybe it is like, hey, like you said, you recognizing that you're bad at finances and then you're not making any effort or you're not allowing other people who may be affected by those finances to help you so that way you, like, everyone can get better or be better. So maybe that, but I don't think being
bad at finances is not a red flag.
Yes. Because I'm great at other things. No, but yeah. Okay. I think that having no red flags is a red flag.
Because everybody's human?
Yeah.
Makes mistakes?
I think because it's like couples that never fight. I think either one person is just like not like keeping it all in and trying to make everything perfect so that they're not like being their true selves in the relationship. Or it's maybe in a maybe negative way, or not negative way, in a bad way, malicious way, someone's purposely not allowing you to see themselves, so that way you're with them, and then when you're with them for so long, or they've entrapped you, then they can be themselves later on. Like, I think that you should have some red flags.
Yeah.
Because we're human. Like, no one's going to be perfect.
Well, I guess it's a good time to announce.
Don't.
I have found my red flag. It's that I don't have any red flags. You're welcome. You are so blessed to be married to me.
Oh man! As soon as I saw your face, I could tell.
I got called a red flag a couple times now on this podcast.
Yeah.
But there's one time that I'm thinking of specifically. I don't think it was on the podcast I was called a red flag. It was on a video that we went to like a resort. And so it's like super early in the morning. Like I woke up and went on the balcony and I'm like sitting there on my phone. And when you come out, I put my phone down.
Oh, but you always do that.
I always do that. But people were either just watching that video or whatever. And they're like, oh, why is he putting his phone away?
Oh, no,
like,
whenever I walk
flag.
into the room or whenever I'm talking, you always put your phone down so that you give me your undivided attention.
Yeah. I know that, but people watching were like, red flag. Why is he hiding his phone, putting it away?
No, I have.
And to me, I was just like, I actually thought a lot about it because I was like, do I do that every time? And I was like, yeah, I do because I'm trying to like pay attention, or I'd rather sit out there on the balcony and have a conversation with you when you came out or enjoy the moment with you than like be there on my phone.
What's funny is that I don't think people know that we have the exact same passwords for our phones, and we literally use each other's phones all the time. Where I think people will sometimes call you, I have your phone, and I'll pick up. Like, I have full access to your phone, you have full access to my phone. And we have the same passcodes on our phone. So I think to them, they're just like, oh, why would someone hide? And it does look kind of weird or bad.
If you're just looking at that segment where like, hey, the wife walks in, the husband puts his phone down. Wait a minute, what's going on there?
But that was an issue that we had early on in our marriage, that I like when I'm talking to someone, they're looking at me. So I told you in the beginning, like, hey, whenever I'm talking to you, can you please like look at me? This was just something that early on in our marriage, Drew just gets distracted really easily, like very, very easily. You do. And so then I would be talking to him, and then he would be on his phone or work or something. He would be on his like laptop doing work. And I'm like, no, I don't know if you're actually hearing me. Or the worst thing would happen would be I would say something important. Then later on, Drew would be like, oh, I don't remember you saying that. And I'd be like, no, I know I said it. I said it at this time. We were talking. You were on your phone. It was on this day. And then Drew would be like, oh, I was on my phone. I don't remember that. So then we came to the conclusion of, hey, if I'm talking to you, can you just put your phone or laptop down so that way I really feel like you're listening to me? And we were doing that forever. And I felt like that was an effort that you made, a huge effort that you made, that I think it's helped me. So other people see it as a red
Green flag.
You want that guy to be up in her. Oh man.
What red flags do you think that you have?
What red flags do I have? Oh, I have I'm really stubborn.
Okay.
I'm really stubborn. I'm competitive. Could that be a red?
Those are traits though. Those are like by your basis of like.
Okay. I
like
don't know.
is there anything that you've done that you're just like, Drew wouldn't like that, or wow, Drew married me even though I did that? I'm trying to think like.
I cut people out once like they do one wrong thing.
Okay, yeah.
And you don't like that. You're someone that really forgives really easily. And I feel like if you show me who you are once, that like if I don't think that I want to continue dealing with that in our relationships, not like me and you, but like any friendship or any type of relationship, then I will like cut you out.
Oh, that's a good one.
Especially if you're telling me like I'm not going to change, or you're showing me you're not going to change, I will cut you out in my life. I love my boundaries.
Cut you out.
Cut you out. Full House with Joey is like, cut it out. You don't remember that?
Yeah. No, I don't. I never watched Full House growing up.
That's a red flag.
Probably.
You've never watched it.
Not that I've never watched it. It's with the twins, right? The Olsen twins?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've watched it, but I didn't like watch it.
That is a red flag. You know
I watched Jerry Springer. pretty consistently.
I don't know how you thought that would be.
Came on at 5 p.m. right before dinner.
Oh man.
Jerry.
I know. I'm trying to think of other things that I do that I think that people will see as a red flag, but
I feel like I don't feel like you have many red flags. Even the red flag you say you have, as far as like cutting people out, like I think the red flag part of that is it may be too quickly, but I think essentially cutting people out of your life that are not being respectful for you, not showing you the love that you deserve, not reciprocating support and stuff like that. I think that's healthy boundaries as well, though.
yeah.
So like cutting people out in itself, I think is okay. Like sometimes that's necessary. I think the quickness of it is what would be the red flag.
Okay.
Does that make you feel better or worse?
It makes me feel neutral.
Okay.
Because I just know the reason why I cut people out so quickly is like rooted in trauma, where I allowed people to continue to do things. Even though I may have seen it, I was like, no, maybe it's not that bad. And then it got to the point where it was really, really bad. And then I decided to cut them out. That I recognized like, hey, maybe not wait so long. If I'm seeing something, people are showing me who they truly are, cut them out. Cut them out. If they truly are really wanting to be in my life afterwards, they will start making the steps and they will make the right steps to try to be back in my life. But if I don't see the right steps and they're just saying, I want to be back in your life, no, just cut them out and then just go from there.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't have an issue. I feel neutral about it because I feel like I'm still doing what's right for me. So while you may see the quickness as like a red flag, I'm okay with that.
Do you think people that have red flags are okay with those red flags? Like, do you think in general they don't?
It depends
See
on
them as
how
red flags?
self-aware they are. Not everyone's super self-aware. So, like, I know I have some red flags. Like, I know, like, some people don't like how aggressive I am. Like, I'm just, like, very, like, ugh. Like, I don't know how it is. Like, and I don't know if it's just because me being a Black woman and I'm very okay with, like, being the, like, mean guy. I'm okay with, like, just speaking my mind. I'm very outspoken, very opinionated. And some people may see that as a red flag. And to me, like, that's you thing. I don't think generally being opinionated is a bad thing. But to some, it is a red flag. Some people don't like that. And so depending on the red flag, I think it can be a problem. But I think it also depends on how self-aware. So, like, I see some red flags, like, if I was a cheater, yeah, I would see that as bad. But if I don't think that's bad, or if I'm not self-aware, or I'm not a good person, then them recognizing whoever that person is doing the cheating and them knowing the red flag, it may not change anything about them and they may not care.
Yeah, I'm thinking through like our kids and what are the red flags that like I would sit down with one of the kids and be like, you've got to break up with this person or not be with this person.
No.
And I think, I don't know. I know they probably won't listen to me anyway, even if I try that approach, but I think I think the big ones I've talked about are the only ones. Like, are there do little tiny red flags make one big red flag? Like,
maybe. Yeah, I can see a bunch of little red flags snowballing into one big red flag. It's so hard because red flags, I'm realizing, is truly up to the individual.
Yeah, I think there's big ones. Small ones are up to the individual. Do you know of a couple that you said they're not going to make it, like he or she's too big of a red flag and they still made it and you were surprised?
No, because I'm not good at that. You are. Mm-hmm. I feel like whenever we watch like reality shows or we meet whenever we meet people in person, you are so good at being able to analyze that person, analyze their relationship and be like, oh yeah, like they'll make it. I'm horrible. I'm so bad. Like, I can't do it. I just can't. Like, you're able to predict so much better than I am. And I'm just like, I can tell if someone's like a good person, but I can't tell if they'll like last together. I'm not good at it. I quit a long time ago.
So you've never seen someone.
No. And maybe I'm trying to think because like
And I don't know. Maybe that comes from me being able to see in person red flags growing up, because my mom being married so many times, maybe me being able to see like, oh, these were good qualities about this person, but these were not so good qualities. And eventually it led to this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe. I'm trying to think of like past guys that I've dated. If there were any red flags. And I would probably say I was the red flag. I did not like, I would be the red flag. For the same red flag that you said earlier, how quick I am, I was the person like, I saw this in a guy. Okay, next.
But I mean, sometimes you grow out of red flags too. Like, I think some of it is just maturity or immaturity, right? Like, I feel like I know a lot of people like in high school or post high school that were just like cheaters. Like, they didn't care. Like, they'd have 2 or 3 girlfriends or whatever. But then now they've been married for like 12, 15 years. And they've got kids, and like, for all intents of what I can see, they seem happy and everything, and you don't hear anything about cheating or anything. So I think some of that is like an immaturity that you grow out of with some of it.
I realized a red flag.
What?
So statistics show that if you are dating someone and their dad or brother or like someone immediate family has cheated, that they are more likely to cheat.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. I remember this guy, he was in a college. He was on TikTok talking about this, and then he showed...
So wait. The family is a red flag? Is what you're saying?
The families can be red flags.
We haven't even gotten into that.
Families can definitely be red flags.
All right,
you don't think so?
Keep going.
Okay. So this guy who was on TikTok, and he was sharing his research because he was researching on cheating and if there were physical traits on people which would indicate that they're more likely to cheat, and then other indicators like family members. If you had a dad or a mom that cheat, is that making you more likely to cheat yourself as being one of their children? And he said, yes, if you had a mom or dad, but especially a dad, that you are that much more likely to cheat if your dad cheated. Also, certain professions are a red flag. So if your spouse is like a...
Wait, red flag or like higher statistically to cheat?
Both?
Are we combining those?
Yeah, because I would say, and people have like said this, like, oh, if you marry a cop, that's a red flag because they're more likely to cheat.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Hit me with all the professions hit me with all the red flag professions.
Dude, I don't know all of them, but being a cop.
I feel like maybe doctor.
Professional athlete. Celebrity.
Oh, I could see those 100%. Professional athlete and celebrity, I could see those. Like, just because of the culture, like, that they're around.
Salesperson.
Wait a minute. I'm married to a celebrity.
I'm not a celebrity, Drew.
That's not what Alexis is.
I'm not a celebrity. I'm not a celebrity, Drew.
That's right. That'll be our beige flag.
I'm not a celebrity. There's certain
Politician.
I feel like all these make sense. I feel like everyone that you say is like, oh, I already know this.
Military.
Because these are the stories
military
you hear.
and cops are like one of like the huge red flags that if women are told like, hey, if you are married to someone who's in the military, they're more likely to cheat. It's actually a joke.
Really?
Like people joke about it.
I feel like all the professions we've gone over, military, cops, athletes, celebrities, I feel like all of those are ingrained in our literature and movies.
You think so?
Yeah, like when you think about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like growing up, I mean, we also live close to Fort Benning, which is like a military hub. Growing up, we heard about wives cheating on military husbands that like went out of country. And we heard about husbands cheating on wives when they were deployed.
But are you saying that you think like the entertainment industry has fed into that stereotype, or the stereotype was already there and the entertainment like industry has like further like
I feel like every month you're hearing about a celebrity who slept with someone else behind someone else's back. And then maybe it's just pop culture, because they come out with a song like Miley Cyrus with Hemsworth. I can buy myself flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all about cheating, right?
No.
He didn't cheat on her?
He did cheat on her? But I didn't think that was what the song was about. I thought that song was about like independence. Like, I could do things I want. I don't need you. That was not about cheating.
After he cheated on her.
Oh my goodness. You said, isn't that song about cheating? And I'm saying, no, it's not about cheating.
You're right. And I'm right.
No, you're wrong. That's a red flag. For the longest time in our marriage, Drew had a hard time apologizing, saying, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I am sorry for being so awesome. You saw that one coming, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, man. But yeah, maybe the celebrity thing is just because they're celebrities and you hear about it more frequently and stuff. But all of those professions make sense.
Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to say whether or not you think this is a red flag. We'll start off with the first one. Is it a red flag if your partner has too many friends of the opposite sex?
No.
No, I really agree. Is it a red flag if your partner always needs reassurance, is emotionally dependent on you?
No.
No, but if it comes out of the blue, I would say yes.
Okay, continue.
I would say it would be a red flag if they weren't always needing that reassurance, and all of a sudden, in the after a couple years, they're like, "I need you to how much do you love?" I think that would be a red flag.
Yeah, I guess.
It's like more
almost in my mind that would be like seeking help. Like I would want to investigate to be like, wait, why is this sudden change of this person needing all this reassurance?
Flag. It's a flag. It's making.
It could just be somebody going through a hard time.
Yeah, but it's
I'm
also.
gonna say no. It's not a red flag.
Okay, sure. What if because here's what I'm thinking about it this way is someone who you've been with for a long time and then all of a sudden starts saying, "Are you cheating on me? You're cheating on me. You're cheating on me."
Oh, and yeah. I would say that's a red flag.
Yeah, because it's more than likely someone who's trying to, what's the word?
They're projecting.
There you go, projecting. And so I would see that as a red flag as well. If someone who you've been with for a really long time isn't usually needing that so much reassurance and then all of a sudden is needing it. And I'm not talking about
I took it as reassurance in general. Like, hey, I'm going through a hard time. Like, do you love me? Do you think we can do this? And all of that stuff.
Yeah, not like that.
If they're seeking reassurance of are you cheating on me? Let me see your phone. Let me get all your passwords.
Yeah.
Let me put a tracker in your car. All that stuff, then I feel like that's a red flag for sure.
Do you see if a person calls their partner crazy or their ex crazy, is that a red flag?
No.
You don't see it as a red flag? I see it as a red flag.
Because it's their ex, and I think that's very typical.
I don't know if I would ever call any of my exes crazy. I'm trying to go back and think about any of them. I don't think I would ever utter the words that they were crazy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I wouldn't personally, but I wouldn't fault someone for saying their ex was crazy.
If your partner downplays your success and is dismissive of your achievements, is that a red flag?
Generally, yes, because I just don't feel like that's loving.
Okay, I agree.
Putting them down.
Is little to no past relationship a red flag? It depends.
I'm letting you answer first.
I think it depends. If you're really young, no, because I think that's not an issue. Not everyone dates a lot. But as you're starting to get older, not to say that you should be dating a lot of people, but you should have some past of
This one's hard for me, especially with social media and everything, and just not networking and community being there that it used to be. I'd say ultimately it's a red flag, yes, that you're not at least dating because there's some kind of social awkwardness there, or it's going to impact. I think it comes from what you were saying, the actions. It's going to impact other things. Mm-hmm. So ultimately, yes, but I don't know.
Okay.
I'm in the middle on that one, I think.
Your partner is mean to their family. Is that a red flag? Yes.
Yeah.
A partner is mean to a waitress. Is that a red flag? Yes.
Yes.
You are never mean to any waitress.
I'm
You're
not,
nicer than I
but-
am, and I.
But being mean to a waitress doesn't make you bad in a relationship. Like I'm the type, you know me, I'm the type of person, maybe that's my beige flag. I need more context.
That is your beige flag.
That's my beige flag.
Oh
I
my
don't know
God,
if you love me for it. Maybe it's a red flag if you don't like it. But it's definitely a flag for me is that I have to have more context. Like I have to have more context.
And I see like being rude to a waitress or waiter and see that as a red flag.
Yeah, because in my mind, I think the problem is I go through all the possibilities. That person was mean to the waitress, but maybe the waitress was mean first. Maybe their dad just died.
That doesn't
And they
give
were
you a
mean.
right to be mean.
It doesn't give you a right to be mean, but it may explain why that person is being mean. That's what goes through my head. It's who I am.
Okay. Ooh, is it a red flag when they are bad with finances or have a lot of debt? We talked about this earlier.
This is so hard. Again, need context, but I think ultimately I would say yes, it's a red flag that needs to be addressed.
Okay.
Not a red flag that you have to not be with them, but to address it.
Okay. Is it a red flag if your partner doesn't have a lot of long-term friends?
No.
No.
Nobody has friends anymore. Don't feel bad if y'all don't have friends. It's okay.
Okay. Is it a red flag if the person you're seeing doesn't want to define the relationship? Yes.
Can we go back for a second before I answer that? Because I
What?
just had a thought that
What?
might be pretty good. Talking about friends, not nobody having friends. I just saw a company come out with a necklace
Oh, man.
called Friend. And like it literally goes with you everywhere and it's your friend. Mm-hmm.
And it
it
texts
texts
you.
you.
Uh-huh.
Comforting
I saw
stuff
it.
or you saw it too?
Yeah.
That's a red flag. If you have an AI friend, that's a red flag for me.
Really?
Yeah.
But I also feel like you would be the first person who would go get something like that.
I mean, I may, but still.
Okay. I don't see that as, I see it as neutral because I do know like life gets busy. I also know that some people struggle.
Gen Z's version of Life Alert. I've fallen, I can't get up. Someone text me, sucks for you, Gramps.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. The person that you're seeing doesn't want to define the relationship.
Yeah, it's a red flag.
Okay, I agree. Ooh, someone giving you too much love too soon or love bombing you.
Oh,
That's
no.
100% a red flag, especially for narcissists.
No.
Yes.
Well, hold on. The love bomb part, maybe. But I feel like giving you too much attention is could be more of a personality thing. If I'm just very affectionate and you're not, and you feel like it's
Do
too
you
much
understand
affection.
what love bombing and then
No, that's why I took that part away. Because I don't. If you add a love bomb to it, I'll say yes, because I've heard that's not a good thing. But I really don't understand it, other than like you're tricking somebody into loving you.
it's not tricking. Maybe it is part tricking, but I thought it was also like 24/7, constantly being around them, constantly giving them almost too much affection. It's not like giving them affection. You're essentially saying giving them too much affection, too much of all of it, and then it suddenly stops too.
Yeah, that would be a red flag.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I agree.
Ooh. Okay. What if your partner has traditional value roles about like gender roles, like very traditional views?
It's not a red flag. That's going to be more personable. Like,
Yeah.
if you're into that, then it's fine. If you're like
What if
not
you're into that? Then
that,
you're talking
then
about
it's
like
not.
it's sex.
I'm sure it determines the positions they have sex in. Like,
Oh man. I don't know if I would see it as a red flag, but I also kind of see it
you
as a
do
red
know
flag.
there's like couples that like only have sex in one position, and that's it for
I
their
feel bad for
entire
them.
life.
I feel bad. I don't know what else to say other than good luck. Keep it interesting. Hope. I don't know. I mean, yes, I do know that. Like, there are couples that only do that, and it just sucks for them.
Instead of the left side of the bed, tonight move to the right side of the bed, and your world will be blown. Like,
I mean, if you're gonna go for the same position, at least different places of the house.
I don't feel like that's a very traditional thing to do.
They would have a problem with that too.
I feel like, yeah.
But like,
I'm
people
thinking
christen
super
their house?
vanilla. Super vanilla.
People christen their house, like every room in the house, right? That is not just a us thing. Please don't say it's just a us thing.
I don't know. I think our friends aren't going to want to visit.
That is not just an us thing. I know there are people who are like, let's just make sure we have.
That's your beige flag. You have a map of the house and you check off each room.
Well, yeah, like that's like, it's like people bless their house. We might as well christen the house too. I'm just gonna say, if you're telling me part of the traditional values is that you can only have sex in one position and only in the bed too, that's like,
I feel like that's a very Southern tradition.
you
yes.
put in Southern people are in this too. They're gonna come for you, Drew. you're
This is like 20, 30 years ago, Southern people. The South is changing, y'all. It's changing. It's not what it used to be.
Oh man. Okay.
Everything the next 2 weeks is going to be in red flags, beige flags, or green flags, just so you know. You want me to cook dinner? Sure, I'll be the green flag tonight. You need to go get your nails done? Done. Green flag. Is a prenup a red flag? My boyfriend, 27 male, and I, 27 female, have been together for about a year and have recently started talking about marriage. He comes from a lot of money and will receive a good bit of money once his parents pass away. My family is upper middle class, but has nowhere near the amount of money he does, so he's loaded. She didn't say that, I did. He mentioned the other day that when we get married, he will ask me to sign a prenup. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. It seems like it's almost an insurance policy in case we get divorced. And I don't know why he would want to get married if he's already thinking we might get divorced. I'm not just sure what to do.
One, I don't think it's a red flag that he wants a prenup. But if it was one of my girls, this is what I would tell them to do. Make sure you get a lawyer. I'll help you get a lawyer. You make sure that they look over it. You negotiate, and you make sure you save your butt. And you make sure that if you are with them for a certain amount of time, that you do get some money. Because usually it's all about saving like monies and finances and everything, right?
It's a business. Is that more of a business transaction?
And not that marriage is a business transaction, but
No,
like
the prenup
the
itself.
prenup itself
Yeah.
is a business transaction. And so, yeah, you should negotiate. You shouldn't just sign it. You shouldn't just say, oh, well, I love him and whatever, because what's going to happen is that you are going to be putting a lot of yourself into this marriage, especially if you do care about this person as much as you do, right? And so time and love and energy, all of that is all put into the marriage that you, if you do end up getting divorced, and I would think any couple that truly loves each other, I don't think anybody goes into it thinking that they're going to get divorced. But the reality is that couples do get divorced. And that's
50%.
Yeah. And that's not that I'm going to say it's like bad or okay. It's just part of reality. That's what I'll say. It is reality that 50% of couples do get divorced, and that you want to make sure that you are saving yourself, just like he is trying to save himself. And I don't think it's bad. I think it's smart that he's trying to save himself. You make sure that you do the same. Get a lawyer, have them look over it, negotiate, find the common ground, and then sign it. And then making sure that you put your all into it. You make sure that he puts his all into it. And that you make sure that if it's like a year or 2 into it, 2 years into it, that that you're not looking back and saying like, oh man, I wish I would have like gotten this or done this. Make sure you get everything that you want out of that prenup. You make sure that they get everything that they want out of the prenup. Be respectful and kind. But I don't think it's a red flag.
Yeah. I think that's probably the best answer I've heard of like how to address a prenup. Because in my mind, it always comes to like one or the other. Like it's either you love him enough that you don't care about the prenup and just go for it, right? Or he loves you enough, in this case, he loves you enough that he doesn't care about the prenup and he's willing to waive it. But I really like your answer that like treat the prenup like a business transaction and negotiate. Like I don't think I've ever heard anyone give that advice of like negotiate your prenup. Like, hey, like put that you get so much money after so amount of years, or it's almost funny thinking about it like, oh, I have so much time in this marriage, so now I start accruing equity in your wealth.
Yeah, but
right?
I also value the fact that this person already knows that they come from a lot of money and they're wanting a prenup. They're basically showing that they have self-worth, right? Hey,
Yeah.
I've got this. I think the person who has to sign a prenup, or I think they should also put their self-worth. We're with each other for this amount of time. I get this much amount of money if we have to get divorced. We have this many kids. Or if I decide I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom, because they have worth in that marriage as well. Obviously they do. Otherwise, that person who is going to be getting married and is asking for the prenup obviously sees worth in them, the fact that they're getting married. They obviously love them, and there's worth in that, and just loving someone. And so I don't think it's a red flag. I just think if you're going to go into it and ask for one, both people need to equally have an equal share of making sure they both feel like I got what I wanted. And in the unfortunate event of us needing to get a divorce, that if we have to leave each other, we're both feeling like, hey, we both got our worth out of the marriage, monetary wise.
Yeah. No, I like that.
So I don't see it as a red flag. But I mean, I'm trying to think too. If it was our girls, that's what I would tell them to say. I wouldn't tell them to look bad. I think I would also ask them to be like extra careful, right? But other than that, no. Like even the word like extra careful, I would just be like extra vigilant to make sure like, hey.
No, even your advice of like getting a lawyer to look at the prenup and make sure it's negotiated the right way and everything, I think is
100%.
really
Any contract you sign.
And maybe that's just from coming from like a place that you don't have to deal with prenups. You never thought of prenup. Like for me specifically, I'm thinking I've never had to think of prenups.
What are you talking about? You signed that prenup when we got married.
We did not sign a prenup. Get out of here. Neither of us had wealth in any capacity that we should have signed a prenup when we got married. That would be a red flag.
You don't remember.
If you have $100 in your savings account and you're asking me to sign a prenup, we got issues. You're hiding something. Like you have won the lottery and you need me to sign that prenup before you cash in. Like,
yeah. I don't know. Like, I just don't see a prenup. And I also just see contracts as contracts. Like,
no, you're taking all the emotion out of it. You're taking all the love, the married, the emotion out of the actual prenup itself. And you're being very rational and logical of like, this is a business transaction. I'm going to treat it like a business transaction. And I think part of that's your personality of like I would probably regret asking you for a prenup. Because you'd probably negotiate it. And that's a beige flag for me, for you, is you'd probably negotiate your way into a better deal than like I got.
I find this so funny. You find it so attractive that I love like negotiating, and I'm ruthless in negotiating. Like ruthless. To the point where I'm like, I am willing to like walk away from this.
I'd probably ask for a prenup, get it back and be like, yeah, I'm just going to shred this. Let's just get married. Like, we don't have to go through any of that. We're good.
No, but I like to be fair too. You know that. Like, I don't like to like I don't like going into a contract and like making sure the other person's like going to regret they had to sign a contract. I do want to make sure it's equal, but I do love negotiating. Like, I absolutely, it's the thrill of it. Oh my goodness. Like how many, like you've seen me be ruthless to like when we had to sign other contracts in our, like since we've been married, also trying to negotiate with one person when we had to get like our money back and negotiating, going through that whole process. I was like, babe, just let me do it. And you're like, no, I can do it. And as soon as you said, all right, Jeena, you go. How long did it take me for us to get our money back?
Like a week or two?
Less than that?
I've been working on it for like 6 months. So pulled around and all that. And it's like 2 weeks. And it's like, okay, I knew I married you for a reason.
Oh my goodness. That's like you said, it could be my beige flag. I find it so interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I think at the end of this, like a red flag doesn't mean that you can't be with someone. I think for me, a red flag means there needs to be communication about what that issue is.
But I think we also should talk about how some red flags should mean that you should leave.
Yeah, I think the major ones, like you've got to have some kind of support outside of you and that person that you can have that discussion with too, to see how serious that red flag is or not. But then you should also have communication. Like obviously, like if you're getting abused, I don't think anyone's going to go to their abuser and be like, hey, I don't like that you hit me. Like that's not cool and that go well. Like, no, I'm talking about like the finances, like someone's bad at finances or someone, you want them to go to college, but they don't want to go to college. And you think that's a red flag. Like you have to communicate through that. And if you can't communicate through that, that's probably when you should end the relationship. But if you guys can communicate through and the person's like, I don't need to go to college because I'm making $45 an hour with my own construction company and that's going to work really well, then that's what you have to decide, like if that's a deal breaker for you or not.
Yeah, that's true. We didn't even talk about deal breakers, but I guess that'll be like another episode. It was interesting talking about this because it made me think more about red flags than I ever had to.
Yeah,
like the longest time.
I want to hear from you guys. What are your red flags or what you would consider red flags that maybe I wouldn't? Like, I almost sometimes feel like Jeena thinks me eating Tostino's pizza rolls is a red flag, but I would not consider that.
No. But the way that you chew and your jaw clicks, that's a red flag.
Thank you guys for joining us this week.
Yes,
we'll see you next week.
you.
Good luck with adulting.
Bye.
Bye.